you've spoken about your favorite writer, but I also want to know who is your favorite artist. We might have already mentioned them, but let's get into that.
Well, to be honest, like it depends on the character because, like, of Spider-Man, Mark Bagley is for me the ultimate Spider-Man artist.
Okay. What era was that?
Well, he would be more in the 90s, but he'll occasionally do. He's on the current book now. I think he does every other arc. He's around, I think. He's done some Venom stuff as well, and I wouldn't say he's my favorite. I mean, Clay Mann for Batman as well is. I've met Clay Mann. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not a friend at all. I've met him one time. But
do you have a photo with him?
I do. Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, Instagram.
Cool. Send it over.
And yeah, there's even like the current Batman, like Jorge Jimenez. Like it just depends on the kind of character and they're drawn as such. But yeah, if I had to pick one in terms of the current stuff, like I really like Ryan Stegman on Venom.
Okay.
Like his Venom, it's immensely detailed for one. It's different from the Venom I would have seen in previous books, but he just draws it perfectly well. And even his Spider-Man in Venom, to be fair, was very good too. So I'd probably put him up on the top.
Yeah, as an artist. And are you sticking to Donny Cates then as your favorite writer, or is there someone else?
Well, Donny Cates would be the number one. Being new to comics, that's kind of Donny Cates is relatively new as well. He hasn't been writing for that long, maybe 5 years or so.
Yeah.
So everything he's written, I've pretty much picked up and loved it. He's the right amount of like mental imagination without being too confusing, if you know what I mean.
Right. So is that what makes him stand out then? Like what for someone who's never read anything he's written and is going to read something he's written in crossover, what can I expect?
Well, for example, with Marvel, I'll give you an example. He doesn't care about what's gone before in terms of Spider-Man's Marvel's golden child. There's only certain things you can do with him.
Yeah.
He wants to get the Spider-Man book, and he will get it one day. But he has said, do not give me it yet because I will destroy him. Like, he is not afraid of writing what he wants to the point the story he wants to tell. And that's the thing. I don't know how it works as crossover. Is that his own kind of creation, isn't it? There's no editor in charge of him telling him what he can do and what he can't do.
Okay.
So he will push the boundaries. That's the thing. Does it with Venom. Does it with other books. He will push the boundaries and like just without being too mental and controversial. But yeah.
So he's just changing things up. He's making his own path in the game. Like
I get the impression too with Marvel that he's almost given a free rein. Like you can do what you want. Your books are selling like hotcakes.
Yeah,
it's good. Keep it up. Do what you want.
Yeah,
and they're just letting him do it.
They're not even checking it. They're just going, crack on.
Because he's building his own little cosmic corner in the Marvel universe, and like I just get the impression that they're just happy for him to do what he wants, and that they're happy to let him. That's just
they'll call it the Donnyverse.
Yeah,
eventually.
Well, there is a omnibus coming out in December, and it is called the Donny Cates Cosmic.
Oh, cool.
Marvel Cosmic Universe or something like that. It's his own book. All the cosmic stuff he's put in so far.
So will that be separate to everything else, or will that be as well as everything else that's happened in Marvel?
As well,
do you think? Yeah, well, that'd be cool. It's good. It's good for him then to have his own little corridor, his little shrine.
He has also written a few independents that I haven't. I've read. There's one called Redneck. Have you ever read it?
No.
I read the first volume. It's very good. It's kind of vampires and gore, and he's based it on his own hometown in Texas. And again, he just writes what he wants to write, and it's very good. And another one is, which I haven't read, God Country. I don't know if you've read it.
Heard of it?
Yeah. Well, he's written that too, and it's I think it's been optioned for a movie or maybe a TV show, one of the two of them, and he's writing the script for the movie as well, I think. So again, he's a talented fella. He's
definitely making waves.
Yeah, and for only being a writer for say maybe 5 or 6 years, it's good.
So have you been reading for longer than that?
Just the New 52 stuff. That's when I was reading the comics, was the New 52.
Okay.
2012 or so, yeah.
Okay, so what about before Donny Cates then? You know, who was the big one for you then? Or
well, Scott Snyder.
Big one.
He wrote the Batman, the Court of Owls, for example, was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Johns was the writer on the Justice League book I was reading at the time.
Yeah. I know Jeff Johns from Flash.
Yeah.
A lot of Flash stuff. Yeah.
Pretty good Flash run, yeah. But yeah, so Scott Snyder probably be before Donny Cates, with Jeff Johns second. But Donny Cates now, followed by Tom Taylor, followed by Chip Zdarsky. They're the top three, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. That's good. That's good to know. So, I forgot what my question was going to be. It was going to be. No, I have no idea. Trying to think of one now. What pulls you to? Okay, no. If you're looking for a particular book, okay, and you go, I have no idea what I'm going to buy. I just want to go to a shop. I just want to pick up a book.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to catch your eye?
Probably. I mean, I don't read a lot of horror books, but I think horror books stand out more when they do, like, there's a one I read from Garth Ennis, who's a good Northern Ireland writer. And A Walk Through Hell.
Keeping it close. Yeah.
It's called A Walk Through Hell from Aftershock. And I didn't really know anything about it. It's just the cover looked nice. It was a horror book. And the reviews on it were great, and I bought it. And I said, I don't read horror, but if I was going into a shop, not knowing what I'm buying, I'm probably going to look for something dark and gritty. And
so you're more attracted to that kind of side of things.
I don't even know why.
Does it stem from the Batman interest? Because Batman is quite dark.
Yeah, Batman can definitely be dark. No, it's just, I mean, I think everyone now has their established superheroes like Batman, Spider-Man, Thor.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you're going to get from them. But if you're looking for something new, if they were to create a new superhero now, I don't think I'd be interested. It would take a while to get it established to kind of.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think if they were ever going to establish a new character, they would have to come as first appearances and cameos in other books first, like Punchline and Clown Hunter. Is that his name? Clown Hunter?
Clown Hunter's just coming Batman recently.
Yeah.
From what I understand, he's going to be big in 2021. So.
Right.
But again, I don't know if they had a solo book for him now, I wouldn't buy it. A one shot, I would probably buy it.
Okay.
It was a one shot.
But you wouldn't.
But I wouldn't buy an ongoing series, I don't think.
Would it depend on the writer?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So if
Donny Cates is writing it, I'd buy it.
Yeah. So a lot of things. It's not just the superheroes that attract readers. It is the reputation of the writers and the artists and stuff. Like if I saw a book written by, Once and Future, written by Kieran Gillen, illustrated by Dan Mora. If I saw another book with that duo, I would probably buy it. I like just to try out the first issue. Like I wouldn't even care if it's a type of story I've never been interested in the past. Mm-hmm. But go on.
The comic book shop I go to every week, the guy Alan who owns it, he has a podcast and he says every time, follow creators. Don't follow the characters, follow creator. So if you like Dan Mora and you like Kieran Gillen, that's the ones you're going to be heading towards. I'm similar with Donny Cates, and I mentioned Tom Taylor and Chip Zdarsky.
Tom Taylor, writer of was it Deceased,
Deceased, which is great.
Injustice, Year Zero, and recently doing Seven Secrets as well.
Seven Secrets, yeah. And he's on Suicide Squad as well for DC.
Okay.
And Suicide Squad, I would never pick that up. As
No?
for example, like it's just, I'm not a Harley Quinn fan. I'm not, Boomerang fan. I would never have picked up Suicide Squad book, but Tom Taylor was on it. So I thought, I've liked everything Tom Taylor's done.
Yeah.
And so far, I'm going to read it. And I picked it up and it's great.
Okay.
And Seven Secrets is great.
Seven Secrets is great.
I know you like your indie books. There's like Chip Zdarsky as well. He's another one who had Follow. And he's recently released one called Stillwater.
Okay.
Have you read it? No?
No, I've seen, isn't just issue 1 out, isn't it?
Issue 1. I think 2's out this week. Yeah.
What was his name?
Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, you have to spell that for me.
Z-D-A-R-K.
Wait, Z-D.
A-R-K. That's a surname.
Z-D-I-R-K. Yeah.
Chip Zdarsky is his first name. Chip is his first name.
Chip. I just want to put it on the screen for everyone. So Z-D-I-R-K. Z-D-A-R-K-S-Y. Okay. There we go. So
that's the one.
What kind of stuff does he do?
He's a bit again, it's like he's not given free rein, but he doesn't care about reputation. He kind of just does his own thing. He has the right amount of humor, the right amount of drama. That Stillwater book,
yeah,
I thought it was a tremendous first issue, and I'm going to read the second and the third, and hopefully it does take off. But he had written a book, Spider-Man. Oh, what's it called? Life Stories by Spider-Man, and I was basically writing Spider-Man in every decade since the 60s.
Okay.
So it's a 6-issue miniseries with the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 90s. But Spider-Man aged every time, and it was just wonderful.
Okay, that sounds cool. That sounds really good.
I would definitely I don't know if you're a Spider-Man fan, but I would definitely recommend that book.
I've never read Spider-Man either. Honestly, like Marvel and DC wise, all I've got on my shelf is anything Flash related.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Marvel, all I've got is Monsters. So Marvel Monsters Battlegrounds, and the 2 volumes they brought out then, which revolve around Kid Kaiju.
Right, okay.
I really enjoyed them. And then they released like an issue 1 in 2019 in August, and I really enjoyed it, and I was gutted that they weren't bringing out anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's literally it. Like for the superhero stuff, I'm more into the films and the TV shows, and I'm not opposed to reading them. But I understand that the market is saturated, and I want to, that is one reason why I'm doing the channel. I want to spread the word of awesome indie books.
Yeah.
So I think my top 3 at the moment are going to be Once and Future, 7 Secrets, We Only Find Them When They're Dead, Something Is Killing the Children. That's a book you should read if you like your horror stuff.
I've heard about it. Yeah, I'll pick up the trade. Yeah,
it's very good.
It's a James Tynion book, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Really enjoying it. And then another book, I actually received it today. It's right there. I'm going to grab it. There it is. I'm coming back. Okay, so book a publisher I've never heard of, but the only reason I've got this book is purely because of the hype. Well, that's what got me interested in it at the start, and I looked into it, and it's heavy.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No, never.
This is cover C. There's only 2. No, this is the only issue out at the moment. And issue 2 is out in 2 days. But basically, it's about like a guy who's got a bit of a past, and he dies, and his wife has also died. She's in heaven, but he can't go to heaven until basically he's paid off his debt.
Right.
So he gets hired as like a heavy, they call it. He's like a big mercenary, like a Punisher type kind of guy, and he has to travel the multiverse, killing people. I haven't read it yet. I'm really looking forward to it. This is cover.
Is it Boom? Is it or
Vault? So
Vault.
Vault is the publisher. I've never heard of Vault until this book came out. So I think it's one of those ones that might make a bit of noise in the community. I think similar to Stillwater, because who publishes that?
Image.
Is it Image?
Yeah, it's Image.
Yeah.
Book, yeah.
I feel like I don't know if I'm being biased, but I don't think Image and like IDW are making as much noise as Boom in terms of indie stuff.
Yeah, Boom's definitely this year's been their year for books. I mean, it's probably about half a dozen easy that are the top books this year. Someone Killing the Children. That's Boom, isn't it? That is Boom. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a few other ones. I say half a dozen. I say it was easy. I can't even think of it.
7 Secrets.
7 Secrets.
We only find them.
Yeah.
Once in Future. I mean, there's a recurring theme here. But yeah, okay.
What did you think of the? You only find them when they're dead. The first issue. What did you think of that?
It was cool. I mean,
the idea of it's pretty cool. Yeah.
The idea is cool. Yeah, that's exactly like it. It excited me, and I'm looking forward to the rest. Yeah. But like, I don't know if comparing We Only Find Them Where They're Dead to 7 Secrets is weird and shouldn't be done, but I base my ratings of a book based on how it's made me feel emotionally. So if you like 7 Secrets is doing very well at that, like Tom Taylor, I don't know how he does it, but the way he kind of invests you into his writing and then just pulls a heartstring, just rips it out, and you're like, oh my God, like first issue, I was welling up, like, and I think to do that with a book, with essentially a comic is just pictures and words, and to combine those things in such a way to make someone want, like, literally feel upset is amazing.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me the question later on about what's my favorite book, my single issue book, it's a Tom Taylor one, and it made me cry.
Really?
So we'll get to that. But yeah, that's what he does. He has this kind of habit of evoking all emotion. You could be really happy, you could be sad, you could be angry. Yeah. He's just very good at kind of portraying all of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. I've read this is all I've read from Tom Taylor, and I've read 2 issues, and I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan already.